to set up a regional research network here in Latin America. This is something the Institute has been very keen on, having these regional networks to engage everyone in this, not just discussion, but also serious research about what is happening in terms of population ageing, what the implications are, and importantly, what sort of policies should be put in place. We were lucky enough in 2009 to welcome Alejandro Klein to the Institute in Oxford as a visiting fellow, and without hesitation we grabbed him and said, you need to help us set up a research network in Latin America. I should say we don't have a research network in North America, for obvious reasons. I'll let you think about that. And we set up a small group of key people here in Latin America whom we called the core group. It was from 7 countries and 9 people, one of whom, Veronica Montes de Oca, here from Mexico. Since then, and it's called LARNA, the Latin American Research Network Foundation. Since then, that network has developed, and we've opened it up so that it is now in line with the other networks that we have at Oxford. So we've opened it up to members, and today we have almost 80 members across Latin America, and we're hoping to enlarge that to include the Caribbean in the near future. So many thanks to Alejandro for his work in establishing that network, but also many thanks in establishing this workshop. It's a new development, hopefully, in the life of LARNA, and we hope to replicate these workshops across the continent for people in that area where we host the workshop, really just to raise awareness to start with about aging issues. It's surprising how many people are still very unaware of the issues to do with population aging. I started working in population aging. I think Alejandro said I'm a demographer. I'm actually a mathematician who moved into demography. And I moved into demography about, oh gosh, too long ago now. But let's say 30 years, shall we? Let's say that, that's been kind to me. About 30 years ago. And at that time, aging of the population was seen as a problem. All of these older people, a problem. They were going to bring down the health system, they were going to bring down the pension system, they were going to be a huge burden on the family. Over time, that problem, we talked about it as a challenge. Now we talk about it as an opportunity. The demographics, the numbers of older people are pretty much the same. They're actually increasing slightly, so if we were still using the word problem, it would be an even bigger problem today than it was 30 years ago. But it's really important what sort of words we use when we talk about population aging, and it's undeniably true that if we talk about it as an opportunity, that's much more positive. People engage with something that is an opportunity, whereas they want to run away from a problem. And that has been a huge step in itself, just changing the words that we use. And as I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, what is hugely important too is that all of this research that is being done all over the world related to population aging, that it's actually translated into some kind of useful policy. Research is very good for an academic's career, but it's not good for the society as a whole unless it can inform and be informed by policy. Those two things, I know a lot of academics do not like getting engaged in policy, but I'm afraid they have to, because these challenges are so important. And engaging with policy, translating our research into policy, I see as one of our most important tasks. And that's why I've chosen this to talk about, which has got absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with mathematics, or even demography in many ways. So why have I chosen this? Because we still, despite the fact that we now use the word opportunity, a lot of people, and I do forgive me for saying this, but a lot of people, many of whom are economists, like to look for problems, and they then translate those problems into what it costs. And one of the biggest problems, therefore, of an aging population is dementia, is Alzheimer's. It's seen, despite all the many varied and hugely positive stories there are about population aging, they always seem to want to drag it back to, what about dementia? What is the point of us living longer lives if we're all going to end up completely doolally in the head from dementia? And therefore it is a big policy issue. What should governments, what should communities, what should families, what should professionals be doing? Because dementia is a fact. It's not an inevitability. We grow old, and maybe 1 in 3 of us will get dementia. So it's not inevitable for everyone. But it is something people are afraid of. And therefore, what sort of policies should we develop? And therefore, I've chosen to look at something which is a big, big issue in Europe, in North America, and that is dementia. And to look at how policies have been developed and what they focus on in Europe, given the research that is out there to enable us to understand how dementia develops, how it impacts on the individual, probably more importantly, how it impacts on the family. And then what sort of policies should be in place to support individuals, families, and of course professionals who are trying to work with this group. Okay, so that